Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, not sorry. But Mark Lewis, Human Thriving Institute, Game of Heroic Meaning. So I just watched Inside Bill Gates' Mind or something like that, whatever it is, on Netflix. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, loved it. It was just great. You're just going through discovering this human being with this incredible mind and this main drive to create and to dominate an industry and to make things happen. And you watch, it's like, wow, this dude's pretty impressive. Wow. I like to think that this dude's got something going on and he's driven. And I'm like looking at myself, that's not, you got to be more like that. I want to be more like that. I'm inspired. It's fantastic. And they go through and show like, okay, he's going to solve toilets for the developed world and cheap sewage systems so that they can like not die from crap in their water, essentially, right? Okay, so he does that, and then let's end polio. Let's eradicate polio, and he works on that for 20 years, and he puts in money, and he's brilliant and and he's going for it, he's going for it, and then he's gonna solve nuclear power to make plants that are safe and can use spent nuclear waste as fuel. So we've got 100+ years of nuclear waste that we can use as fuel, and it's safe and it's awesome, and so again, I'm inspired. I like it's great going through this whole story, and you get to meet his wife. Fantastic. Their relationship is cool. The whole thing. It's like great. And then at the end, the filmmaker narrator guy is like walking along. He says, "Okay, Bill, now I've got a tough question for you. The toilets. You got a lot of progress, but they're still expensive. And polio, with the wars in the Boko Haram and the Taliban come back, and so polio's actually gone up a little bit, and the trade wars have kind of killed your nuclear thing with China for the time being. And what if you just can't do it? What if you just can't do it?" And Bill Gates says, good question. Sometimes it's appropriate. You quit. Sometimes you look at the thing and you say, okay, it's time to give up. But other times, what you do is you work harder. Right? And the narrator comes in and says, oh, yes, well, this is what I've known. I've been following him for 2 years doing this documentary, and that seems to be his solution. He just keeps coming back to work harder. And, that might seem like a virtue, but perhaps maybe that is his problem. That's his flaw. And then the thing ends. And I'm like, literally, I get up and I'm like, I want to throw something. I'm so pissed off. I'm all, how could you do that? How could you have such an amazing series about this guy who's using his intelligence, just going at it full tilt, and he's got this drive to create and to solve problems, to what's the biggest thing I can take on, and how do I actually use my best intelligence and recruit the best people and spend money effectively, but spend tons of it. Like, how do I do this? And I'm going to take it on, and I'm going to work at it for decades. And I understand things take time, and I'm going to work at it, and I'm going to push, and I'm going. And when it doesn't work, and when I get close and it doesn't work, I'm just going to work harder, and I'm going to work harder, right? And it's like, yes. And this guy, well, I don't know, man. Sometimes when it's hard, you should not work harder. You should, quit. What? What are you talking about? Why? Why would you quit? Well, you might fail, and then, cause you didn't succeed, then you shouldn't have done it, cause you should just quit. And I'm like, you are like the dumbest, In the thing they say, Bill Gates was fond of saying, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard, like every 20 minutes or something like that. And it's like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Work harder. That is the right answer. You're working on something worthwhile. You put your entire heart and soul into it. And then when it doesn't quite work, you keep going. Why? Because it's worth doing. You find something worth doing and you put your absolute best into it. That's the game. That leads to everything good. And all of the good he's doing, well, but maybe he's not gonna finish in the next couple years, and therefore maybe he should just stop. So, advice, unsolicited advice series is fantastic. Like it's just good. It was good. It was, and I loved it, and I'm glad I watched it. But when they're walking down the desert and out through the desert, and Bill Gates, he asked the question, and Bill Gates says, well, sometimes it's appropriate to quit, and sometimes you just work harder. Just stop the series right there. Just stop it. Nothing else happens there except this guy just saying the dumbest thing possible after the greatest inspiration. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. Bye.